So this is M48 pollution control measures. So basically, one good thought here is preventing pollution is the best control. Conservation and efficiency is pretty much how we accomplish this. So this is probably the best solution to controlling our pollution, and instead of trying to clean it up, it's preventing it. So being more efficient with what we do, conserving our energy, that's going to be the easiest fix in fixing pollution. And then moving over, how does reducing the temperature that we burn coal affect emissions? So if we burn it hotter or cooler, is this better or worse? And then what does a catalytic converter do? So I talked a little bit about that in 47. We put that on cars. So what exactly does the catalytic converter do? Why is that something that we put on a car for pollution measures? And then moving over to the next page. So I just kind of put this bit of information there. Oxygen is broken apart in the stratosphere by UV radiation. It's not very clear on that. It does talk about it a little bit in 47, but it's something that you definitely need to know. So UV radiation breaks it apart, and that's how we get free oxygen, and that's how it can eventually combine with nitrogen, form O3, so form ozone. And then we use a variety of things to clean the atmosphere. So specifically, how do we use the things listed on this sticky note? Smokestacks, scrubbers, electrostatic precipitators, and fabric filters to clean the air. So some of these we use in our own house. The fabric filter, you guys probably, or your parents, put a new filter in maybe every couple months with your central heat and air, and that is something that we use to clean the atmosphere in our house. But how do we use these other things maybe in industrial situations? And where are they used specifically too? So moving over to 555, what two things are the main focus of cities clearing their air? So cities that want to clean their air and make it better, they focus on two things. Those main two things are what produces the majority of our air pollutants and our particulates. So what are those two things? And then this little information that I have down here, wood burning stoves are now banned in new houses in Reading. So you're no longer able to put in wood burning fireplace. You can put a gas insert in, but not wood burning, and wood burning stove as well. So a lot of people, especially after the fires, who relied on wood burning stoves are finding that they need to find a different source. So electric heat, gas heat, gas insert, things like that. So we are drastically wanting to reduce our pollutants in the atmosphere. So that's the main reason. And then what are some other methods that other cities have used? So there's some other methods that cities use. Mexico City uses, or tried anyways, a method of reducing the amount of cars. So depending on your license plates number, even or odd, you drove every other day. And there's some other things that other cities have done. I thought it was pretty impressive what China did before the Olympics. So it does show pictures here underneath this sticky. That's pretty significant. That's a huge difference in pollution between picture A and picture B, just by some seemingly simple measures. So what are some other things that cities have done? So look that up. And then there's this acid rain program, which is part of the Clean Air Act. What exactly was that for? So what was the goal of it, particularly the acid rain part of it? So what were they looking to accomplish there? And then the last page here, it mentions sulfur dioxide trade as far as you're buying kind of credits. And you only have a certain amount of credits per year, and if you go over that, your company or your industry, your industrialization factory is going to pay dramatically for going over. They've implemented something else with CO2, and those are called carbon credits. So you might have heard that before. Companies can buy carbon credits. Let's say that company A has 50 carbon credits and they only use 45. So they can potentially sell 5 of their credits to another company that needs them. And they can pay, or they can sell them for quite a bit of more money than they actually initially paid, so they can make money on that. So it's kind of like a cap and trade. So it's capped at a certain amount. We only want, let's say, 100 emissions units of pollution into the atmosphere in Reading. So company A gets 2, company B gets 5, and so on until we reach our 100 cap. And then if companies don't use what they buy, they can sell. So it's like a cap and trade system. So they use it for sulfur dioxide and carbon. And like I said, it's in the form of carbon credits, which was something that was really big probably about 10 to 15 years ago. I haven't heard much about it lately, but it was something that was really big in the news, especially during Al Gore time. And that's it. That concludes 48.